Hi everyone, it's Enes here. Welcome to another episode. We have Santiago Arana here, who's one of the most successful real estate agents we have here in Los Angeles. Today we're going to get a chance to ask him a few questions, learn about the real estate business, and let's dive in. So you've been in the business for 17 years, listings in LA, these high price points. How was your last year? Can you tell us some of the sales you've accomplished? I don't want to sound like we're just bragging about numbers here, but one of the things that really fascinates me about you and your business is you don't seem to have like a big team. And to me, it seems like you kind of have your way of doing business. You're a little bit more laid back. So can you kind of tell us how was your last year, where your business is now, where is it going next?
Yeah, I think last year I finished somewhere 340, 350 million. This year looks like it's going to be a lot better, actually.
A lot better, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we are in March and I'm already almost past half of that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's been a very good market. And I think that the reasons why we enjoy in this good market is because, I mean, there's a number of reasons, but technology's changed a little bit. When before in Los Angeles, the people that really bought these kind of houses were people in the movie industry, right?
Yeah.
Agents, actors, actresses, anything that was related to Hollywood, right? Were the richest people in LA. Now, no. Now you have the tech people. You have these young tech people in the business that they're the ones buying these kind of houses. They're the ones that kind of dictate.
You never heard their name, but they're worth millions or if not billions of dollars.
Yeah.
They're involved with a lot of technology companies. Yeah, absolutely.
But for the last 5 years, I can tell you that there's been a big influx of people from the East Coast, Boston, New York, Chicago, tons of people coming this way.
Gotcha.
Again, technology allows you to do that, right? Before, if you want to be in the stock market, you needed to be in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Now you can be in Malibu, wake up early and sit and looking at the beach and you
go surf real quick.
You go surf and sit in your beautiful house and sit in your laptop and you don't need to be in a specific place, right? So all those changes I'm getting in LA to benefit,
Yeah, it adjusted the way people live their lives. You mentioned to me you worked with this developer before.
Yes, developer is an amazing guy. The quality that he puts into his properties is just incredible. A lot of attention to detail, and he really builds them like he's building a house for himself.
I want to talk a little bit about you. So you came to this country as an international student. That's a story that resonates with me a lot because I was an international student and I had a chance to listen to a couple of your podcasts, kind of hear your story, and it's really unique and it's very inspiring. So if you don't mind, can you tell us, where you're originally from, when did you move out to US, and how did that journey look like?
Yeah, of course. I'm originally from Bolivia. Mm-hmm. I went to college there. I studied business administration and marketing. I graduated from college, and then I decided that I was going to apply for a master's degree on finance. So I got the scholarship, and the scholarship was only taught in English. Okay. And it was only taught in English, so they were like, "You don't speak English?" I was like, "No, I don't really speak a word of English." And I thought, I asked them, I said, "Is it possible that I go and learn English and then you'll give me the scholarship next year?" And they were like, "Absolutely, just you have a year, come back and we'll do it." So I remember thinking, and I asked my mom, I'm like, if I'm gonna learn English, I think I need to do it by immersion.
You disconnect from the zone that you're in already.
Yeah, but if you are in a place where you're just forced to speak the language and you have no choice and you don't have anyone to talk to, your original language, you learn a lot faster, right? So that's what I did. My mom told me I have a cousin that lives in Santa Barbara. Okay. And I spoke with her and she said, you can crash in her couch for 8 months and that's it. I said, done. I remember packed my bag, had $120, and at 23, I just came here.
Wow.
In my mind, I didn't know what Santa Barbara was. Like, you could have told me you're going to anywhere.
It's all US, it's the same
Kansas
thing.
Or whatever. For me, it was like, whatever. So I remember arrived in the middle of the night at 3:30 in the morning. My aunt went to pick me up at LAX, and we drove to Santa Barbara at that time. And we just got there, and it was dark, so I didn't get to see the ocean or anything. And I woke up in the morning on the couch and I turn around and I see, and there's this incredible ocean, right? The Pacific is like, and Bolivia is landlocked. So the ocean is a big deal for us.
Big deal.
And I'm a very I'm water-oriented person. I'm Pisces, so maybe that's why. So I open my eyes and the first thing I see is this. I literally put on my shoes and I ran to the ocean. It was 2 blocks from my house. Found a very special connection with Santa Barbara, went to school, learned English. Through that process of doing that, a year later, I started working in a restaurant because I ran out of the money really quick. So I got a job as a busboy. I was cleaning tables. As I picked up the language within the first 3-4 months, I asked the manager, who now works for me at the agency, which is it's an amazing full circle, kind of thing, to be promoted as a waiter. And so he put me as a waiter, waited tables for a while, waited on who my wife is now, and fell in love, and she was living in LA, and that's the moment where I said, well, like, I guess I'm not going to do the scholarship. Like, I like it here, I'm in love now, and I ended up moving to LA because she was living here, we were going back and forth, and I ended up moving to LA. And once I got here, I said, well, if I'm gonna stay here, if I'm gonna get married here, I need to find a job.
Find a job and establish yourself here.
The waiting tables was a fun thing to do, make good cash, and it was actually an incredible experience, which I would recommend to anyone. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get my kids to do it, because you get to know people, right? You need to understand people. I mean, you're waiting on hundreds of tables, and you in front of hundreds of people. And so you get to develop this sense of like, if I meet someone very quickly, I read them, right? So it actually gave me a very good sense of, develop that skill very good, that when I decided to get into real estate and I started doing real estate, it was actually a tool that I did not expect to learn there. But now for me, when I'm in front of people, when people walk into my open houses, when I go and meet and do listing agreements, the ability to read that individual and kind of, in this business, you got to be a little bit like a chameleon, right? You can go and talk like a robot to everybody the same. Hey, my name is Santiago Arana. No, it doesn't work. So you kind of have to see, you're meeting an older couple, or you're meeting a younger kid, or you're meeting whoever you're meeting, you kind of have to gauge and kind of accommodate yourself
you need to
talk
read
to
them and kind of get what they're looking for. And it's funny, you probably carry that skill set in your job today, because it's so important. And people skill is one of the most important skill set you can probably learn.
It's the same, right? People come and look at a house, and you're not going to tour the house with everybody the same. You can't tour a house like a robot, living room, blah, blah. You can't do that, right? So you need to make a connection first, and at least that's what I do. So someone walks in a house, I introduce myself, I ask for the names, and I make a connection. Once I make a connection, I know, okay, they're friendly, they're funny, they're not, they're more quiet, they're more reserved, and I ask him usually, it's like, do you want me to walk you through the house, or do you want to go on your own and then ask me questions? Give him the option. Because I introduce myself and I kind of break the ice, they, most of the time, 9 out of 10, say, no, walk us through it, please.
Walk us through it.
So then you start learning a little bit more, and then asking questions, and what you want to do is try to find a connection to that person, because you want them to be comfortable, right? They're about to spend and drop a big amount of money. So they're nervous. They're looking at a house, and they're looking at 8 other houses. So they're going through houses, right? So you need to make an impression so they remember this house.
And feel comfortable in it.
Exactly. So that's kind of like, what I learned through the waiting tables. And, I got into real estate. I started in Beverly Hills. And that's how we got started.
Wow. That's an amazing story, and I love it that it starts from very humble beginnings, because right now you're one of the most successful real estate agents we have here in the city. If I would have asked you, what are some of the qualities that you possess that you think makes you successful, like the real differentiating points, what would you say those are?
This is the part that I disliked a lot.
I know, this is like I'm asking you to brag about yourself in a way, but
I don't like to talk about myself, and it's funny because it seems to be the favorite questions of all the interviews that I do. Look, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but I think that, being real and being authentic is a big thing. Knowing your craft. I know what I do. Like, I understand my business, I understand the market, and I like to understand it. I like to have the knowledge. I like to know what I'm doing, right? I like to be good at what I do, so I prepare myself. So when it comes to people that they're looking for someone, they definitely can rely on me as an agent that not only knows about the market, but I know how to transact, I know how to negotiate, and I know how to close. So those are things that I can speak pretty comfortably, although it's weird. I'm a personal level guy. I like people. I enjoy interaction with people. I work hard. To be successful, it takes a lot of work. So you just gotta put the hours. You gotta put the hours, and I put the hours. I'm usually the first one in my office and the last one. Although I shouldn't have to at this point,
Yeah.
But people would think like, yeah, maybe not, but I am. If you see my Instagram, sometimes I'm leaving the office at 8 o'clock at night. I'm there sometimes as early as 7 in the morning. So you gotta work. You gotta work very hard. You know, I mean, there's no way that you won't be successful if you put enough hours.
Gotcha. So now I feel like we talked about too many glamorous things, your success, you know, being a real estate agent in Los Angeles, it's fancy. You walk around these amazing homes, everybody's dressed well. And I feel like public has this image of, especially for real estate agents in Los Angeles, that our lives are like really glamorous. This job is super easy. All you do is show fancy homes, make big commission checks. And because of our YouTube channel, I get so many messages and reaches, emails. I want to be a real estate agent. I want to tour homes like you do.
I get the same thing.
And I bet. And I'm like, I wish he knew how difficult this job is and how competitive it is and how there's only so many homes you can actually sell and all these people are trying to make it in this business. So I just want to get your take on like, because I feel like these TV shows, selling Sunset,
so that's it,
stuff.
right? So the problem is that the TV shows that are out there right now, they all portray the same thing, right? They all show that, and you know, those TV shows are based on drama and flash, right? So there's got to be a drama because people are addicted to that. People like to watch drama. That's why the news are so popular, because the news are all bad news. So people get addicted to that fear and all the what's next, or who got raped, or who got killed, or who got this, or who got that. So same with these TV shows at a different level, that they sell drama, who's fighting and what that and what this and that. And then, you know, I'm arriving in my Rolls Royce and I open the door and I walk in this beautiful $50 million house. So,
make $1 million commission.
Yeah, nobody wants to watch me going door knocking and get the door slammed in my face, right? So that's what is giving this perception out there to the world of what a very small portion of actually what this business is. You know, I've met a lot of people that are very fired up. They want to do real estate and they come into the real estate business and they're all fired up for a year and then they leave. They either leave or they go back to do what they were doing before, because it's not a sprint race. And I don't believe that everything happens quick. This is a marathon, right? Because every time you sell a house, you're fired. You need to get a new job. That's the way I look at it. So
absolutely.
And you need to constantly continue to educate yourself and learn, because the moment you think that you know it all and you stop learning is the moment that you're going in a different direction, which is towards death, right?
Sure.
So you got to constantly be learning. You know, there's never you're too old or you know everything to stop learning. So that's one of the things that I like to do, and that's when the books come on in hand, right?
Gotcha.
The more amount of grass you have, the faster and the more money you're going to get for the house.
Because this is what people are looking for.
People want yards. People want places where the kids can throw the ball, play, and everything. But when you walk inside, they want this clean look, these doors. I mean, look at these amazing doors.
Yep. It's automatic too.
Automatic. You press a button, this appears into the wall, and all of a sudden, you have this indoor-outdoor flow, which is really what in California. So that kind of stuff is what is selling these days.
Well, talent is overrated if you don't put the work for it.
Yeah.
Especially in the era that we live, where everybody has access to so many different resources. So if you're not willing to put the hard work, someone is going to beat you to it. That's just the bottom line.
Right.
Another thing I would like to ask you, kind of building up on this subject, if you knew people out there that are kind of considering this as a career, what are some of the questions that you think they need to ask themselves to figure out if this job is for them or not? Because from the perception of how this job looks from the outside, to a point where you got in and you're 6 months in and you're realizing, oh my God, I put all these hours in, I haven't made $1 yet, and I don't even know if I'm gonna make $1 yet. How would you help someone gauge whether this job is good for them or not?
I think that one of the questions, and I don't know if necessarily in which order is more important or not, but when I meet and I get a lot of emails from people, they want to shadow me, this, that, they want to do this or that, and with the few that I get a chance, because it's just hard to get back to everybody, and they ask me, they want to do this, I always ask the question is like, are you willing to commit 3 or 4 years of your life before seeing anything first, right? If you are willing to dedicate 3 or 4 years to do real estate, although you might not make the money you want to make, or not even close to the money you want to make, right? Then try it, right? Give it a shot. But if you're just coming in here because you watch a TV show and you got fired up and you think you're going to come in here and in a year you're going to be rolling like those guys, it's not, don't even waste your time.
Exactly.
It doesn't work that way.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's to me like the most important questions. Like, is there a commitment? And how long I'm willing to keep that commitment and how long I'm keep, because there's also a meaning on that, right? When you make a decision that is a real decision and that you're gonna make something happen, the universe kind of listens to that and it makes it happen for you.
Absolutely.
But when you're doing something halfway and see if this works, and I'm gonna do this in the daytime, but I will see the real estate so easy because if I sell a house for $10 million and I make 2% commission, that's $250,000. Oh, all I need to sell is one house. Well,
I love that language. All I have to sell is one house.
yeah. But then when you get in the business and you start realizing, well, out of that I need to pay 50% in taxes and I need to give 20% of my cut into the company that I'm working with, and I'm left with 30, and then if I have an assistant, I need to pay my assistant, and I need to actually spend money because it's a business, right? And this is a lot of agents don't get this. It's like, oh, and they don't want to do a full page ad because it's $1,200 or $1,500. Well, it's a business. You need to invest in your business.
It's your
right?
overhead.
So when you realize it's not the money that you think you're actually making by just calculating the percentage of the commission, is a lot less than that. So then you maybe need to sell a lot more houses than what you think. So keep in consideration all those things if you want to get in this business.
Santiago, I have one more question for you because I want to leave the audience with a practical advice on how to get started in this business. Let's just assume that today is the day that you just got your license. You're officially in the business. What are some of practical first steps that you would take in order to position yourself to learn and be able to excel in this business?
I think that one of the things that I've done from the beginning, and one of the things that I would do more actually from the beginning, is find something in this business that you are better at. Like, for example, when I started, as I mentioned before, I didn't really speak the language. So when I started in this business, I was speaking English for a year. Okay. So if now is not perfect, imagine how it was before. So for me to see, because a lot of people get into real estate and they start doing the things that everybody does, door knocking, cold calling. I mean, there's certain things that you do when you get in the business, and cold calling is a big one, right? For me, cold calling didn't work, because if I got on the phone with someone with a thick accent, bad English, and try to convince them that I can sell their house, well, it's not gonna go well. So I tried a couple times. I was like, very quickly, I understood that was not for me. So I think that the advice that I would give to people is, see what you're good at, right? And what you will enjoy doing. Don't do any, I mean, you gotta work hard, but it doesn't need to be a sacrifice.
You gotta also work smart too. You gotta work on things that actually progress.
So if cold calling is not your thing, for me, it was sitting open houses. And when I didn't have listings, I was sitting people's open houses, right? I would approach other agents and ask them to allow me to see their open houses. Because in open houses, I found myself very comfortable. I would learn about the house very well, important. I will learn about the neighborhood very well. I will learn about the market very good. Like, what houses are competition for this house? How do they compare? What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? So, and then be in a good place. Don't go and sit an open house thinking, I hope this time goes fast, looking at your phone, hoping that it's time to close and leave. Might as well just go to the beach, go hang out with your friends.
You might as well not do the open house with that
Come
attitude.
into an open house to look at your phone or hoping that it's time to go home. Why would you do that? And a lot of them, I tell you, 9 out of 10 probably do that. You know, they're just sitting there and they just can't wait to be done with it. Well, guess what? No one's gonna give you a medal if you're sitting an open house, and no one's gonna punish you if you're not sitting an open house. Sure. It's only you. So are you gonna use those 3 hours that you're sitting in there to generate business? Or you're gonna use those 3 hours to waste it? If you're gonna waste them, go and do something else. Enjoy those 3 hours as opposed to being a punishment sitting in a house and
miserable.
You know what I'm saying? So when I sat in open houses, I created a mood. I brought my candle, I brought a little speaker when the houses weren't smart. I did a lot of things that were set the tone, so when someone would walk in the house, then they will be like, you know, smells good, feels good, nice music. I will be in a place where I was an enjoyable person to see, not a boring person sitting on the couch. You know? Smile, make a connection, because for me that was great. I met a lot of my clients, very big clients that I have still until this day in open houses.
Amazing.
They come in, we connect, we talk. The house not for you, no problem. Never try to push too hard for any sale, right? So just kind of know what it is. And maybe you're good at door knocking. Maybe when you go door knocking, you have a way how to, you know, present yourself that people feel comfortable opening the door and maybe giving you a tour of their house. That was another one that I was very good at. Door knocking. I mean, this was my neighborhood. Brentwood Park was the neighborhood where I door knocked hours, right? And I picked up and generated a lot of business through that, right? And it's a numbers game, right? You get a door knock in 200 doors, so you get invited on 3 of them, and then one maybe becomes a deal. So that would be my biggest piece of advice, and that was one of the things that I did not do from the beginning. In the beginning, I was trying to do everything, and so I wasted kind of 1 year of trying to do everything, and just kind of like go by what people are saying, and as opposed to like once I got into myself, I was like, okay, let's think about this. How can I enjoy this, and what is that I can bring to the table? Because once you start understanding and pay attention to what value you bring, it's a lot more important than paying attention to how much money you're going to make out of the commission. Focus on your value, offer it to the clients, they'll notice, and boom.
And they'll pay you for it. How about this? Because I get this question asked a lot too. I started my way in business by doing a lot of rentals. It's less of a commitment. It's easier. You get to meet a lot of people, and you get to show a lot of houses. When you show a lot of houses, it builds confidence.
And less agents do it too.
Yes.
Less competition.
Exactly. Less competition, and most agents don't want to do it. So when I got into the business, I was like, I went around my office. I found all the agents that had lease listings. I was like, I know you hate showing this. There's not much money in this. How about I do all your showings? I don't want any money. But if there's random people call you on Craigslist or apartments.com, can I take them and show them something else if your listing doesn't work out? They're like, of course. So that's how I built it. I've done probably like 40 lease deals on my first year.
Oh, wow.
My phone was so busy. Like, I was the busiest agent making the least amount of money, but I built so many connections. And when you get used to showing houses and doing transactions, even though they're on a smaller scale, your awareness in what you're capable of, your confidence builds up. You're like, now all I have to do is build this to a higher scale. Instead of leasing $20,000 a month, I'm gonna try to sell $2 million. So that's one of the things that I mention people. I just wanted to see if you were kind of focusing on rentals, or I was just curious about your opinion on that.
Yeah, no, for me, I never thought about doing rentals, so it was not something that was in my awareness.
Gotcha.
But I see the benefit of it, because what happens is you got to transact.
Yes.
You know, if you sell one home, you make a little bit more money, but that's one transaction, and how much experience can you get out of one transaction?
How many people you deal with?
If you're transacting constantly and you're doing transaction after transaction after transaction, you develop a lot of experience. Doesn't matter what the amount is, because the transaction is a transaction.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Well, Santiago, thank you so much for spending time with us and kind of sharing your thoughts and your story. We really appreciate it. And I'm going to make sure we leave Santiago's information, his Instagram. What are some of the most active social media platforms you use these days?
I mean, I have my YouTube channel, and Instagram is the number one, really. I actually canceled my Facebook account, and
Gotcha.
I'm kind of limited to one thing.
Gotcha. Cool. So you guys make sure to check out. And again, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Awesome.